The endless darkness of the processing facility stretched before Marcus like an infinite tomb of metal and despair. Harsh luminescent panels cast a sickly green light across rows of human workers, their movements mechanical, their spirits crushed beneath the weight of generational oppression. The Crystal Collective had perfected the art of breaking humanity, not just bodies, but hope itself. Marcus remembered stories passed down through whispers, tales of Earth, a blue-green planet of forests, oceans, and free people. Those memories had become myths, legends shared in hushed tones during rare moments of rest. His grandmother had once described sunlight, real sunlight, not the artificial glare of industrial complexes. Those memories fueled something deep within him, a spark of resistance that refused to be extinguished. The processing plant processed rare minerals crucial to the collective's technological infrastructure. Humans were considered the most efficient biological machines for extracting these resources. Generations of selective breeding and conditioning had transformed humans into living tools, efficient, expendable, and entirely controllable. But Marcus was different. Where others saw submission, he saw opportunity. His mind worked like a complex algorithm, constantly analyzing, calculating, searching for weaknesses in the seemingly impenetrable system of control. Each day followed the same brutal pattern: 16-hour shifts of mineral extraction, body-breaking labor, minimal nutrition, and constant surveillance. The crystalline overseers moved between work lines, their translucent bodies reflecting the industrial light, their multiple sensory appendages scanning for any hint of resistance. Marcus had learned to become invisible. He moved with calculated precision, his movements so perfectly synchronized with the machinery that he became almost indistinguishable from the industrial environment. But behind his eyes burned an intelligence that the collective could never fully suppress. The breakthrough came during a routine maintenance cycle. Most workers would have ignored the momentary glitch in the quantum-locked security systems. But Marcus saw it, a microsecond of vulnerability, a tiny fracture in a seemingly impenetrable technological fortress. Slowly, meticulously, he began collecting technological fragments, discarded communication modules, fragments of surveillance systems, broken quantum processors. Each piece became part of a larger puzzle. The overseers, so confident in their technological supremacy, never suspected the human slave was methodically preparing for something unprecedented. His fellow workers noticed subtle changes. Marcus began teaching small groups during rest periods, sharing knowledge about technology, about resistance. He didn't speak of rebellion directly. Instead, he shared understanding. How systems worked, how vulnerabilities could be exploited, how hope could be reconstructed from the fragments of oppression. The collective had a fundamental misunderstanding about humanity. They saw biological entities as predictable, controllable. They believed technology could permanently subjugate a species, but they failed to understand the human capacity for adaptation, for turning limitation into strength. Months of preparation culminated in a moment of perfect synchronization. Marcus had not just learned the collective's systems, he had understood them, anticipated them, and ultimately mastered them. Where the rebellion erupted, it was like a supernova of human potential. Communication networks collapsed. Defense grids went dark. Entire planetary control systems fell into chaos. What had seemed impossible became inevitable. Marcus didn't just lead, he transformed. From a slave to a strategist, from an oppressed worker to a liberator. His understanding of the collective's technological infrastructure became humanity's most potent weapon. The crystalline beings launched massive retaliatory strikes, believing overwhelming technological force would crush the uprising. But they had fundamentally miscalculated. Each attack became an opportunity for human adaptation. Hijacked communication arrays became instruments of liberation. Industrial complexes transformed into battlegrounds. Entire fleet formations were systematically dismantled, their advanced technology turned against them. What made Marcus truly dangerous was his holistic understanding of resistance. He didn't just fight, he liberated. Each freed facility became a training ground, each rescued worker a potential soldier in humanity's reclamation. The final confrontation in the Omega Quadrant became legendary. Marcus led a strike team that infiltrated the collective's primary governing complex, a massive structure that had stood as a monument to alien dominance for centuries. When silence finally descended, the collective's leadership was decimated. Their technological networks, once considered invulnerable, lay in ruins. Humanity stood not just free, but triumphant. Years later, historians would debate the precise details of the rebellion, but one fact remained undisputed. Marcus had transformed the species from slaves to liberators, from a disposable workforce to a galactic power. The Crystal Collective had committed a fundamental error. They had underestimated the human spirit. True power came not from advanced technology, but from the unbreakable will of those who refused to be broken. The slave had become the executioner, and the galaxy would never be the same.